Welcome everyone, and thank you all for agreeing to speak to me today about the services that Closing the Gap provides. The conversation is really based on our latest strategic plan. We know that healthcare systems internationally are under pressure. The issues that healthcare systems internationally are dealing with are an aging population, an increased demand for healthcare services, increasing costs of healthcare interventions, and all of this on the backdrop of a critical shortage of human healthcare resources. With that in mind, Closing the Gap has compiled its latest strategic plan, which takes us from 2023 through to 2025 to make sure that we are charting a path where we are able to continue to deliver high quality healthcare services to an increasing population. The pillars of that strategic plan really focus on a number of things. The first being care that matters. Others are united and engaged teams, and finally partnering with purpose. And it's with that in mind really that we're having the backdrop of this discussion today. So we'll start with you, Yanni. We all like to think of CTG as a very special place to work. What is the key differentiator at CTG that you're most proud of?
It's a great question. One of the things I'm most proud of working at Closing the Gap, and where I think we really differentiate ourselves, is our people. Over the 10 years I've been working at CTG, I've seen us build a safe and supportive work environment, and I've seen us build this culture of diversity, equity, and inclusion that truly, in my opinion, is unmatched in the home healthcare sector. Our safe and supportive work environment really means there's a home for you at CTG. If you want to be in home care, there's a home for you, regardless of your experience, regardless of your availability. We will make sure that there's a role for you to play. Another thing that we do is ensure that you get your skills developed. So if you do need extra training in certain areas, we'll support that as well. Our IDEA committee has really demonstrated our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Our partnership with the Canadian Centre for Diversity and Inclusion is really set the stage for how we inform, share information, and create an environment where there's a shared learning and understanding of the different diversities that make up our workforce. We did a recent survey in May, and the results show that 85% of our employees feel that they're supported in any IDEA-related manner. A really testament to our commitment to ensuring that. When I think about leading change, it's not easy. Home care is hard. And when our funders are constantly changing regulations, asking us to file new and different types of reports, creating different rules for different geographies, it makes it very difficult to operate and continue to deliver care. But we do it. We do it fearlessly. We do it without asking questions because it's the right thing to do. And we do this by embracing change head on. We're a resilient team that's truly capable of achieving anything.
Thanks, Yanni. Over to you, Lindsay. We all know that home care is very different to facility-based care and that our providers are out in the community in people's homes providing care. How do you set your providers up to provide this care autonomously in the community?
Thanks, Leighton. So home and community care is a high-quality, cost-effective way to serve a large number of individuals who want to age in place at home, especially after the pandemic. There's a growing aging population that's putting a strain on the healthcare system, creating long waits and diminished access to care across the continuum, especially in acute and long-term care. Home care offers a solution to some of the system demands, and that's what I'd like to talk about. So as I think about excellent delivery of care at CTG, there are 3 areas of focus: the team, the client and family, and our health system partners. So at CTG, it starts with the team. We always work to ensure that we have an experienced and compassionate team that feels safe and supported to meet the needs of our clients. CTG calls this a team made for caring, and it is the foundation of our system of compassionate care. An approach that promotes client independence and dignity, supporting the most meaningful lives for those that we serve. So to ensure healthcare providers can deliver on this promise, we invest in our people. There is comprehensive training, education, and responsive real-time support from leaders at all levels. CTG consistently makes significant investment in education for providers and leaders, and has also developed some innovative educational programs to support home and community health human resource capacity. This includes the development of a home support worker training program, and it has resulted in 100 new HSWs entering into the health system in 22-23, and we're committed to training another 150 HSWs this year. In addition, we have developed the first ever home and community care nursing certificate with 100 nurses slated to graduate this year. Exceptional quality is a key principle also at CTG and part of our care. Every employee is a leader and expected to consider ways to continually improve the work that they do. Aligned with this, CTG is interested in innovative practices. And this can include technology, such as e-management systems for scheduling and documentation, all the way to the use of artificial intelligence in home care. We're particularly interested in being a vital part of the creation of an integrated and coordinated system of care in Ontario and Nova Scotia. This includes considering direct referrals from partners like hospitals, long-term care, and primary care, as well as co-designing and spreading new and innovative models of care like transitional care units, hospital-to-home programs, new care pathways that are inclusive of home and community care, and those programs that integrate with primary care, just to name a few. So all of this investment in the team prepares providers to put the clients first at the center of the experience. It creates the opportunity to deliver personalized care based on the needs of clients, families, and caregivers. Care is all about meaningful relationships between clients and providers. Especially post-pandemic, people are looking for authentic connection, and that is what CTG strives for to deliver every time. Lastly, our partners. CTG is an innovative organization that wants to effectively partner to deliver on the development of an integrated, coordinated, and sustainable health system. And this means advocacy with government, connection to regional Ontario health teams, and in Nova Scotia, home and community care agencies, and other key partners.
Great. Thanks very much, Lindsay. Nafisa, we know we're a people organization. We couldn't do what we do without the people who work as part of our team. What are your plans to enhance further what we do from a human resources perspective in the organization?
Thank you for having me here today. As the healthcare landscape changes, it's becoming even more important for us to focus on health, human resources, and home and community care. With the changing demographics and strong demand for personalized care, the need for skilled professionals is increasing. Our HR strategy for the future of home and community care revolves around a few key areas. Let's start with finding the right talent. We've been talking to people from various backgrounds over the past 2 years to understand where they might fit in the healthcare world. Through these conversations, we successfully placed individuals on meaningful paths in health human resources. For instance, our home support program saw an impressive 96% retention rate this year. We're also hosting specialized recruitment events to showcase unique opportunities in home and community care across different locations. By partnering with communities and understanding their current needs and future aspirations, we're making sure that everyone can find their place in healthcare. Second, embracing diversity and inclusion. Diversity and inclusion are at the heart of our strategy. We're committed to building a workforce that reflects the diverse communities we serve. We're actively recruiting professionals from various backgrounds and fostering an inclusive culture where every team member's contributions are valued. This approach creates an environment of collaboration and respect. Third, preparing for the future of work. Looking ahead, the impact of technology, and more specifically artificial intelligence, will reshape how we approach work. Embracing the potential of technology and artificial intelligence is crucial as we consider how home and community care jobs might change in the next 1 to 5 years. We have a diverse range of worker generations at Closing the Gap, so we're focused on bridging the gap between established practices and new AI-driven possibilities. This transition involves recognizing the strength of each generation and promoting continuous learning and adaptation. Our journey here at Closing the Gap is about combining experience and technological progress to enhance the quality of care we provide to those who rely on us every single day. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Nafisa. Dan, you're the member of our team that's been with Closing the Gap for the longest. What are you most proud of if you look back at your time with Closing the Gap from a perspective of employee and labor relations?
Thanks, Leighton. I would say that I am most proud of the employee-centered approach we take to employee and labor relations. We're not in a business like manufacturing where you can easily just replace one employee with another who has the same skills. Provision of healthcare service is a very personal thing, and so our employees are expected to build a close personal connection with their patients or their clients, while at the same time respecting therapeutic boundaries and maintaining their professional obligations. And so at Closing the Gap Healthcare, we try to take a similar approach with our employees and our relations with them, maintain a level of professionality, but at the same time, get to know our employees, get to know their needs, their wants. I think everyone knows that in many cases, your job is one of the most important things you do in your life. It's certainly one of the things you spend most of your time on. And so we try to pay close attention to what our employees need and to fit the work into their lives, just as they're fitting their lives into our work. And so that approach is something that guides us in our relations with our employees. When we encounter difficult situations with performance, we try to take an empathetic and sympathetic approach with our employees and support them to become satisfied and satisfactory employees again. And that flows into our labor relations as well. More than 25 years ago, Closing the Gap inherited some union relationships from the government when therapists were divested and came to work for Closing the Gap for the first time. And so over the last 25 plus years, we've tried to develop very positive relationships with our unions. A union is simply a representative of an employee, and so when we're dealing with a union representative, to us it's the same as dealing directly with our employees. We try to build respectful relationships. And we take the same approach with our unionized employees as we do with our non-union employees. We focus on what we can do for them. When we come to the table, whether it's bargaining with the unions or approaching our non-union employees, we come with the attitude of what can we bring to the table? What more are we able to give? Not how much can we hold back from them. And I think that reflects well in the positive employee and labor relations that we've developed over the years. We have cordial relationships with the unions, and we have very cordial and sometimes warm relationships with our employees. I think it reflects well, as Nafisa may tell us, that we don't have a high rate of turnover, and so that's what I'm most proud of at Closing the Gap.
Thanks, Dan. And Claudiana, as Vice President of Finance, how are you creating meaningful analytics for the organization as we plot our path forward?
Well, it is an exciting time for transforming and expanding home care infrastructure within the Canadian healthcare. One key component of enabling our organization to be an essential part of this transformation is leveraging technology to strategically support closing the gap to manage core business processes in an effective and innovative way. Especially post-pandemic, it became pivotal for our organization to invest in cloud-based enterprise management system, which will enable Closing the Gap to focus our clinical operations based on patient care journey. We are strategically focusing on data analytics tools to drive efficient clinical resource allocation, increase quality of patient care, and optimize productivity of available resources and streamlining processes. Focusing on data analytics and data modernization will enable our organization to generate actionable insights to drive decision-making. We need to lean on data analytics to meet today's needs of home and community care, and more importantly, to leverage technology to adapt to changing needs and servicing unmet needs within the healthcare system.
Thanks, Claudiana, and thanks to all the members of the team for taking part in this today. It's been very interesting, and I hope the audience finds it interesting. At Closing the Gap Healthcare, we're a team made for caring. That caring is not only for our clients and their families, but for each other. And that's modeled every day by our leadership team and everything they do and say to make sure that our team feels that they're working in a safe and supportive environment in providing care to our clients. Thank you all for taking part in the panel discussion today.